Okay, we're back with another tier list, and we're actually joined by a very special guest. We have Conor Garland in the room here with us, and he's here to rank goal celebrations with us. He's got one included here too, because he's got a pretty unique goal celebration that we're going to ask him to rank. So first of all, Conor, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, Conor, did you just finish a hockey game or something at the podium over there?
No, finished practice. I couldn't make it home in time, so I wanted a nice drop back though.
Oh,
Better than
good.
my couch.
Yeah, it looks unreal. Conor, wow, what a season, by the way. You're crushing it this year. So keep it up. Hopefully your performance is as good in this ranking because, you know, we're going to hold your feet to the fire. With that said, Conor, we'll get you to kick it off and rank your own, we're calling it a celebration, but basically, what was the celebration like after getting hit in the face with a puck and then it scoring? And where would you rank that in terms of celebrations all time?
That's probably a C. I mean, there's not much of a celebration. It's just a few of the guys were just telling me I scored, and I had no clue what was going on. Whenever you're just in that much pain and there's blood, you're not really thinking about anything else. But I just kept hearing nice goal. I was like, just kept saying, what are you talking about? And then I went in the trainer's room and I was getting stitches. And the TV's on, it's showing it. And that my celebration was in the trainer's room, so everybody missed it.
Didn't you come back and score the game winner?
Yeah, my next shift I came out and scored. So, But then the next night we flew to Calgary. We had a back-to-back, and we're on the plane, and my eye just blew up. So the next day I couldn't really see, but I played with a bubble on in Calgary.
Your face was so mangled. It was it was crazy.
My eye was like bloodshot for 2 months. It was just all red.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
that sounds so painful.
That is way better than a C. Everything you've just described,
I was gonna say,
way higher than a C.
I'm nominated in that to at least an A because that's unreal.
Yeah.
I'm happy to put it up to an A. 6:30, go with the 6 Sally.
Yeah, 100%.
I'll give it an A too. That was awesome.
Cut yourself some slack, an A for sure.
We've got a unanimous vote. It's an A.
On to our next one here. We've got the Teemu Selnne glove snipe, basically, I guess you could call it. So I'm up after Conor. I mean, I'm gonna put it in an A. I don't think you can really argue that one. It's pretty iconic. Does anybody think it's overrated or anything? That one fires me up.
Conor, I hope you know that this is the best jersey in franchise history that he's wearing right there. And I hope you know that.
You're out of your mind, Jesse.
Why? It is. No offense. It's nicer than any Coyotes jersey ever.
I don't know. That was retro,
ranking
man.
here.
Plus
What
the
the
Kachina? No, you're
Yeah,
out of your
100%.
mind.
Also, that's just
What?
false.
You're out of your mind.
No, I think that's a very fair statement to make.
It says the guy from Winnipeg
Yeah.
who's currently like draped in gear from the 90s.
Literally
way.
wearing a shirt with that jersey on it right now.
Yeah, I think you may have underrated it, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, is that not the best celebration of all time? The only reason I say it is because it's one of the first things you think of, just Selly-wise. How many kids go out and do that? How many kids who played street hockey just go out and shoot that glove? It's clearly the best one in like any of the NHL games as well, and he shot his glove out of the air. I don't think it gets cooler than that, personally. It might be a little early for the best, but
I was gonna say, do you think it's
feels
the best?
deserving.
Well, are you nominating it for that?
I'll nominate it for the best. Whether or not it stays there, I think it's the best.
I would put it in the best too, just because it's so original and it's creative, and he was like the first to do it as well. Put in the best.
Everything about that Sally is perfect.
Conor, thoughts? Have you ever thought about pulling something like this off?
No, I think, but if you're gonna say it could be the best, just because it's probably the most goals somebody celebrated in this whole category. So I think it's 72 or 73. So that's a lot.
That's
of
a
goals
good
in
call.
Season. It's not many nights off, so I mean, that's a lot of goals.
It sounds like you guys are all saying the best. So
Yeah.
we'll put it there
Yeah.
for now. Okay, on to the next one. Z, you're up with Austin Matthews' like good goal celebration where he like mimicked the ref.
It's hard not to have a bit of a Leafs bias here. But that being said, I think it's a solid A because of the story as well.
That's a solid A.
I think that the story behind it's just like the face he made, like the pouting almost of like when they called off the goal and like just the genuine happiness and then like the sticking in your face afterwards. I think it's an A. It's like super memorable.
For the record, like all of these Sellys are are pretty sick, right? Like even
I
if
know.
one is put in D, it's still like a great celly. I think it's just kind of relative to the other
It's a bell curve.
cellies that are in here, right? Yeah, exactly.
I'd be fine with a B if anybody wants to go with that, but
I'll go B.
I'd even go C.
No, I would go A because it's for the sass. It was so sassy. I loved it. You have to put it in A.
sounds like we're staying A.
I like A. If I get one called back and get another chance, I would be, you gotta be fired up. And there's nothing worse than getting a goal called back on an offsides nowadays. So
Especially after you take one right to the dome.
Okay, next one we're up with Jack Johnson Tebowing.
The most talked about player in the National Football League, Tim Tebow.
Tebow mania has swept the nation. But I can't lie to you, coming here to Denver this week, I wasn't sold.
Sam ranking this one.
Oh, I am glad. Okay.
Delete it, Sam.
This
Delete it.
is like a slice of time. Like when you talk about Teemoing, like there's a very like small window of time where you're like, that's gonna be a really relevant thing, and I'm gonna do it. It is not a celebration that ages well. I don't think I'm gonna get passed for deleting this. That's a D because it didn't age well. It's not iconic, and it reminds me of a very specific time, and I didn't love it.
I'm a huge Broncos fan. I would put it in D too.
If we're doing this on a bell curve, it's like, it's not original. You're taking someone else's thing. I think it's a D.
It shouldn't sniff the air of the other ones. Someone was bound to do it. They wanted the clout. It was on the table. He went for it. But I don't think we got to rank it with the other ones that are more original.
Okay, now Jesse, you're up with. I think I might know where you're putting this because this is Andrew Ference, where he scored against the Habs in the playoffs and he just flipped off the fans. So.
You know what? As much as I would absolutely love to do this one, I'm going to pass this one off to Rags because she's a Habs fan and it happened against the Habs, and it's only right if she breaks this one down. So, Rags, take it away.
I was hoping I would have this one. Thank you so much. Delete this. It has to go. We were talking about this one earlier because you guys were like, do you take it personally? Yes, as a Habs fan, I do. Nothing is worse than the fact that he did it and he couldn't own up to it at first. It took him a year later to apologize. He was like, it was a glove malfunction. He looked straight to the crowd, gave the crowd the middle finger, and walked away. Like, at least be able to own up to it, and he couldn't. Like, it took him a year. So, no, it's embarrassing. Delete this.
Because I gave this one over to Riggs, I want to refute it now. All right? First of all, you're absolutely wrong. You talk about sass, Reagan. This is the definition of sass, okay? The courage that it takes to flip off an entire crowd at the Bell Center.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
The
And then
courage.
to lie about it, and then to lie after and say that it was a glove malfunction, that is in complete
I don't even think it's a
horse
lie. I
move.
think you just have.
So
He's
what
just having
courage?
fun with the film.
No way he actually thought that was like.
If you're
Also,
lying.
Andrew Ference is everything about the video is incredible, in my opinion. I'm not even exaggerating. Like I love Teemu and the jersey he's wearing, but that is the single greatest celebration, maybe in the history of sports.
I'd vote for the best if people want to.
Connor, what do you think of this, Sally?
Well, I'm from Boston, so I'm a Bruins fan. That was during their cup run. That was a big goal. That was like down 2-0 in the series, and he only lied because he didn't want to get suspended. So he
There you
just
go.
said it
Genius.
was a big goal. So change the series. I mean, I'm good with an A on it.
Of course.
I feel like I could back an A. I'm about the best, but it's like
I'd go with an A.
No one actually wants an A.
No, it's
It's
going to
No,
A.
like, I like
It's
an
an
A. not the
Okay,
best,
I'll remember
but an A.
this. I'll remember this.
You kept playing.
Yes. That's the best line to say to anyone.
Jesse, now because you passed your nomination up, you're up with Colin White's dab in the World Juniors.
Honestly, okay.
We know where this is going.
I absolutely love it. It's like literally the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
He idolizes Patrice Bergeron.
He holds it for like
The execution
5
was not great.
Connor, are you buddies with Colin White?
I grew up with him. He's. I mean, it's if you knew him, it's so weird he did it. But I mean,
Man, it's the funniest.
I think they did it a couple times in a game. They had like 3 guys doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Werenski did it as well.
Yeah.
And the dab is back.
This one is the best though. Relative to the other ones, I'd say if we're being real here, it's probably like a B because it's so funny.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think B's good. Luca, you're up with Marchand.
I'll say this one's a B just because McGregor does it better. It was fun to do on skates, and I know like McGregor visited the locker room and like that was cool, but it's a B. It's a cool.
It was an
celebration.
overtime goal too, wasn't it?
I think it was.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, that this is undoubtedly an A. I think it's better than the Matthews one for sure. The fact that Marchand had the presence of mind to pull that off, like right after McGregor did it, it's actually incredible. And I think 100%
with McGregor at the game.
With McGregor at the game, like that's one of the best ever.
That's actually kind of sick. I didn't know that either.
Marshy, come on, let's see the walk.
Jesse, I'm backpedaling on mine then. I'll give it an A then because he was at the game. That's really cool.
All right, well, that was easy.
Darn right.
Luca, you folded like a cheap seat, buddy.
So quickly. Yeah.
Also,
So quickly
Jesse,
I folded.
Also, Jesse just breaking that down like it's a play. The presence of mind. Like, what?
I rest my case.
Dude, yo, chill. He just did the McGregor alone.
So sick.
From a player's perspective, Connor, what's it like playing against Brad?
For me, I grew up watching him, so he's like one of my all-time favorites. So like, I have a picture in my house of us next at a draw, right? So it's I don't hate him, but he's so good, so you gotta hate him. But that's an A. I mean, McGregor's in the building. He was in your locker room before and after. You pull that, that's an all-timer. That's
100%.
Like you said, presence of mind. If you had that, in your head before overtime and then scored and did it, that's an A.
That's
Easy
true.
A.
I didn't take the moment into account. I really sucked at that one. That was bad on my part.
You blew it, Luca.
I totally blew that. That was horrible.
Okay, Connor, you're up with the Ovi hot stick.
This was, at the time it wasn't received well. I think it was his 50th.
Yeah.
I'd say it's a B. I think he could have done a little better. I liked it, obviously, but he scores 50 every year. So, yeah, a B. I think it was a solid celebration planned, and you get away with this when it's 50. So, yeah, I think a B.
I'm with you. It wasn't like that cool, but I like that he did something. It just like wasn't that sick.
It added to his legend for sure, but like as you said, it wasn't like it was like super creative that if someone else did it, we would have talked about it for as long.
Are we all pretty much in agreement there? B?
Yeah.
B pretty solid?
Definitely.
I think so. Yeah.
Great ranking, Connor. That might be the first one to stay in
Yeah,
its
that
spot.
absolutely stuck.
Good case.
Don't get too cocky there, Connor, all right, buddy?
I'm up with a pretty standard Selly, honestly. Like we just grabbed one here because he probably had one of the more exaggerated versions of it. But this is Rasmus Ristolainen doing the kind of like stick twirl and holstering the stick.
He did a stupid Selly. It was pretty fun to see.
Honestly, like I'll probably give it an A, only because like I just think it's like a really solid Selly. You got a little bit of swagger to it. I don't think it's like super like original, and I don't think anybody specifically is going to be remembered for it a lot. But I like it as a Selly. I don't know. That's really my only.
You're gonna rank it higher than the dab, really?
Yeah.
The goal he scored too was just unreal. You're underselling like how exaggerated it was. Like he was doing stuff with his shoulders and he twirled it like 6 times.
Yeah, but like I don't know. What I'm really ranking here is just the stick twirl and holster, which I'm into. Yeah. I like that. I like that Selly.
I don't think that it's an A though, right? Like I think
agree.
it's good, but I think that it lacks it. Like for me, I like when I look at a celebration and it's iconic and it's tied to a certain player as well. Like for that reason, I don't think I can put it at an A. Like, is it a B? Sure.
Sam, you sound like you just made like a Shark Tank pitch or something. For
and
that
you
reason,
guys are like,
it cannot
for
be
that
an
reason, I'm out.
I'd go.
What are you guys nominating?
I'd say C.
C is good with me.
I'm good with the C.
Connor says C too. Yeah. Okay, we're going down to C. Next up, I believe Z. You're up with the Patty Kane like heartbreaker one, where the double OT does a little heart, punches through it.
And then he skated by everybody, did the whole heartbreaker thing, and then Shazi came in and gave him a hug from behind. It kind of looked like Rose and Jack from the Titanic, so I'd say that's probably one of the best.
Everything about that celebration, the moment, double OT winner to go to the Stanley Cup final, huge slide, obviously huge soccer fan, so anytime you get like an Arjen Robben knee slide and just like the actual motion of like the pump, that's an A. If I hadn't already gone off about how much I love the Selnne one, I probably would have put it at the best, but it's just slightly below that. If it was like a 1A, 1B scenario, I'm just going to put it as an A, but it could be considered the best.
I would actually like to nominate it for the best, only because like I get the Selnne one's like iconic. The Patty Kane one, like that's in overtime in the playoffs, right? That like second overtime in the playoffs.
Again, I love the celebration. I'm not trying to take it down, but I just think that it's the creativity of the Selnne one is what makes it so much more of a signature celebration as like the best of all time. This is still incredible. Don't get me wrong. The scenario's nuts.
We'll put it to a vote. Put your hand up if you want it to go to the best. Wow, Connor's with me.
I spend some practices every time I score. I'll do that.
I love
Best
it.
celebration.
I love it. Connor, unfortunately, it looks like we're on the wrong side of this vote, so I guess it's staying today.
Still super dope.
Yeah, we get it. You hate it.
Yeah.
We are on to, I believe now it would be Sam.
Love this celebration that I get to be the one to put it in the tier list to start. This could not be a more beer league celebration if you try. There is no way that you are pulling this off ever again in the NHL. It's not going to happen.
I'm into it.
It's really funny. I don't see it ever happening again, though, because like it feels really Bush League.
That sounds so harsh. I just feel like it's like goofy.
It is
Definitely
goofy, but like
I'm not kidding. This might be worthy of the best celebration of all time.
Oh my goodness.
Stop.
I think it's a B because it's really funny. Yes, I don't think it's ever gonna happen again. And like as an actual celebration, it's more of a punchline to a joke than it is like a good celebration.
NHL video games have made this like way more legendary, but I get what you're saying. Like it definitely looks hilarious, which docks at some cool points.
I want Reagan to elaborate with her ooh gross comment because I think it is an incredible celly, personally. Very creative. Here you are just trashing it.
It had its time. Yeah, whatever. It's too beer league to be rated as the best. Like it's iconic in its own sense, but if anyone ever does it today, it's just a joke. You don't keep that in
Wait, did you say a joke?
That's a joke.
Delete this or put it in a D.
Reagan's so harsh with these.
Well,
Reagan's
this
a
is
tough
just not
critic.
fun anymore. It's funny when you see it. It's not anything that's memorable or something that you're like, whoa,
What?
this is...
It's so memorable.
I think of it as like honestly less of a beer league celly and more of like a practice celly. Like this feels like you're with your team, you're just having a good time, you score a cool goal in practice and you ride the stick. I'm fine with it at a B.
I think a B is okay.
All right, B it is then.
Connor, any thoughts on riding the stick?
I mean, it's sneaky hard. I don't know how we got that.
This sounds like a man who's tried it.
Nowadays, I feel like if I did that, my stick would snap. So
That's true.
That's a good
I think
point.
that's a wooden stick celebration. So I don't think you'll see that anytime soon.
Just a 20-pound piece of lumber right there. Brutal twig.
Yeah, it's just a tree.
Reagan, you're up with Sean Avery doing push-ups.
I'm honestly not a fan of the push-ups. I know I went a little harsh on the last one, but this one I honestly do not like. I think it should go in a C or D. It's worse than beer league.
I'll go C.
Yeah, I think C is fair. Honestly, my main takeaway from this is like Reagan just hates celebrations in general.
Yeah. Less celebration.
No. I don't like the tacky ones. Like if they're original and they're good and memorable, I do like them. But we can't just not have any in C or D.
I back the D grading. All he did was push-ups. Like, who cares? You know, it's like it's nothing that I agree. It's not like he threw a glove up in the air and pretended to hunt it down. You know, like he just did some push-ups.
The other part of this is that like we haven't really mentioned this, but there's obviously some iconic cellies that we haven't included in this even, and like maybe we'll do a part 2 at some point. But like there's probably even some other cellies that aren't in this that are better than this one.
All right, so we're going D?
I have no problem with it.
Love to hear it.
Jesse, you're up with the nail Yakupov, just sliding on your knees, scoring in overtime, and just sliding to the other end of the rink.
Oh, not only did he slide his way into the other end of the rink, he slided his way into being one of the biggest busts in NHL history.
Oh my God.
Guys slid his way right to the KHL with that one. It's not even the best celly we've seen someone do while sliding on their knees. There's nothing really like overly creative about this. He just like went nuts and had a good time, which you love to see. My roommate also looks a little bit like Nail Yakupov, so I do have have a soft spot for him.
What?
But
You haven't shown it.
Like, I don't know where you're going to put him based on how you've described this. You could put him in the best and I wouldn't be surprised.
no. I'm gonna throw this in C. Like, I love the passion, I respect it, but like, wasn't that creative or anything.
Yeah, no, I mean, I back it not being that creative. And the moment's not there, so it takes it down a bit. C seems fair.
Was that too harsh on Neil?
You really went in on
that,
him.
my man.
That was a tough one. I mean, that tied the game late. They didn't even win the game on that goal.
I did not realize that. That makes it worse in my mind. Like, I feel like maybe we should bump it down to D.
But your memory on that, though, like, that's nuts.
You would crush it in a quiz.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah.
I'd battle it.
Is someone gonna take Corwin's belt? I think so.
Do we want to bump it down to a D?
Oh yeah.
What's the hardest you've ever sellied, Connor?
I scored in overtime in junior and dropped on one knee and stick twirled all the way down the ice.
I love it.
That's
some of the guys have seen it here and they don't believe it's real, but unfortunately it was real.
Overtime here at the Coliseum. There's a shot by Garland. They score! Garland on the off wing. Top shelf.
We're gonna get that footage out of here.
Okay, now Luca, you're up with the Jagr salute.
Apparently from the Flyers.
Yeah, Flyers legend.
Flyers legend, Stars legend, Caps legend. Let's salute an A. It's amazing. Yagr's like the only one that does it, and other than the Rangers player that mocked him in that Winter Classic game.
Mike Rupp.
Mike Rupp also had the most legendary chirp ever in that game.
Jody Shelley.
Irrelevant out here. You're irrelevant out here.
Oh yeah.
That's
so
amazing.
Good.
Honestly, I'm a Broncos fan, like I said, so the Mile High salute is something I love when the Broncos do it. When Jagr does it, it's legendary. He had the bucket flow. Like, everything about it is just perfect.
I honestly would put this at the best. Only because it's like...
That's trying so hard to get Teemu out of that.
Yeah, he's trying to dethrone him.
I don't know. The fact that, like, it's so known with Jagr and that he did it, like, all the time, I think makes it, I think that's cooler. Like, being able to have your own, like, signature celly is
Does anyone think that rifle salute is anyone but Selnne?
No, but I don't mean that, but, like, he never did it again.
But I think that's what makes it even
That's
cooler.
the best part.
Exactly.
That's the best part of it.
Fine.
I think if we could have 2 there, then I would for sure put it there as well, but for now an A.
Connor is now like an encyclopedia of hockey knowledge because you're dropping that Mike Rupp is chirping Jody Shelley. You know who is the one that did the Jagr salute. You've got all the answers here, so we definitely got to get you on a quiz in the future. And we're going to tee you up with the last one here. It is the Wayne Gretzky kind of like running celebration where he just like has his hands up and runs.
Also, just want to say, Gretzky, greatest coach in Coyotes history.
Boy, Wayne Gretzky is absolutely beside himself, and I don't blame him.
It looks like it's at the brick tournament.
That kind of does.
Yeah, that's tough. That's the career. That's 802. That's a lot of goals. I think you got to go A. I think Selnne still is just like that's pure emotion. I think.
Gretz kind of looks like he doesn't care. He's just kind of like nice.
Yeah, you're just floating there. That's pure happiness. That's just it. Nice little tap in to get it too. That's an A. That's an A. That's a solid one. I don't see many people do that though. You can't mock that one either. There's a couple on here you can't mock them. So it's a lot of A's though.
We got to delete something. It ain't gonna be the Tiger Williams celly, but I would be willing to delete the Sean Avery push-up celly.
I'm good with that one. Avery. I mean, I don't know why you're celebrating with push-ups. Doesn't make any sense.
Whoa, okay.
Because it's Sean Avery.
Is this the first insta delete that there's ever been? We don't even need a round table.
Let's do it.
On that
Yeah,
one.
I think we all know the decision here.
Delete it.
Done.
Okay.
So we've evened it out a bit. We ranked celebrations. I think overall what we'd really say is most celebrations are good. I think that's it. Connor, thank you again for joining us. Like we said, I think we got to get you on in a quiz.
I appreciate it, guys. I look forward to that. Try to come for the belt.
Oh yeah, we'll see about that.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
Connor.
you.